Welcome back everybody to Extreme Off-Road Silly Bills, and today we're dealing with the 1976 Volkswagen SP-2. So this now has 957 horsepower, 628 pounds-feet of torque from a 4 litre twin turbocharged flat 6 engine. The car itself now weighs 2,069 pounds, has all-wheel drive, off-road tyres and off-road suspension, and it can now do 0 to 60 in 3.605 seconds, 0 to 106.467 seconds, and going to a top speed of 231 miles an hour. So the stats on this are fairly solid. Speed, acceleration, launch and off-road capabilities are all excellent. Braking is fairly decent, especially for a car that doesn't even weigh all that much. Handling is obviously going to be a bit of an issue because it does have a much heavier engine up in the rear, and yeah, obviously it's got a lot more power to deal with as well. So rear engine vehicles can typically be quite oversteery. Hopefully the all-wheel drive will help sort that out by having a bit more grip up front, but you never know, to be honest. So yeah, this could be a little bit of a handful, being as powerful as it is, while obviously weighing very little in the process. Granted, it does weigh a bit more than what it did originally, 107 pounds extra, but yeah, we've got nearly 900 horsepower extra as well, so that weight is easily going to be offset. So yeah, fastest Volkswagen that we've had has been the Santana. So despite that being from 2012, in terms of when it was made, the design is actually from the 80s. So yeah, that is the fastest Volkswagen that we've had. And then we've got the double cab pickup, which is based on the VW bus from the 60s as well, in second place. So older Volkswagens have done pretty well on this series, so hopefully this can join them. And for now it is seemingly pretty quick and reasonably agile, so good sign to start with, to be honest. Granted, obviously it did not have all-wheel drive in its original format, so that is something extra to deal with, but it does mean that we've got more weight up front to provide extra grip in, as well as obviously with the all-wheel drive providing extra grip. Now imagine if you kept this rear-wheel drive, that front end would get quite lightweight at times and not provide the steering or the braking that you would desire. Can it deal with the jump? Mostly, yeah. Even though it did bounce back up, it was still flat and level, so you weren't at one corner or whatever hitting the ground first and potentially making the landing worse. So at least it landed flat and level, which does show that the car is quite stable. I'm definitely getting that impression from it, even through the corners, of how stable it actually is. Not getting any of the pendulum swing effect from the engine being over the rear wheels. And because it weighs so little and it's quite a small car relatively speaking, it's really rather quite agile. Do have to be on your toes when driving at speed through these kind of tricky sections, but it's really rewarding when you get it right, and yeah, it seems pretty quick. And it's got plenty of acceleration. 146 down there. There shouldn't be any real turbo lag either, because this flat 6 engine is more modern than the original engine would have been with a turbocharger, or a flat 6 or flat 4 engine from that period that would have had a turbocharger. Far more efficient than any engine from that period. That with the all-wheel drive, that will help it scramble out of any corner, then you've got a pretty rapid car overall, to be honest. If this car did weigh more though, those brakes would be quite a detriment, but thankfully how little this weighs means that those brakes are not going to cause us any issues, and we've got a really quick time there. We are now the fastest Volkswagen with this SP2 at 3 minutes 19.215 seconds. That is more than a second quicker than the Santana. and well over a second and a half quicker than the likes of the Volkswagen double cab pickup. And 3 minutes 19.215 puts us ahead of the Abarth 695 Biposto, the Jaguar XE SV Project 8, the McLaren 620R, and off-road vehicles like the Ford F-150 Raptor R, Chevrolet Silverado LT Trail Boss, the Rivian R1T, the Illumicraft Class 1 Buggy, and the Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro. And we're only ever so slightly behind the Hot Wheels Diora 2, Lincoln Co Scion Racing, Bentley Continental GT Convertible, and a Lamborghini Cyan Roadster. So yeah, that's pretty impressive in terms of being the fastest Volkswagen. Now granted, the extra second that we've gained over that Volkswagen Santana hasn't, shifted Volkswagen dramatically up the leaderboard in terms of just the manufacturer, but it's still now in 67th place, which is fairly decent, and it's a 10 place increase over where the Santana was. So overall, a really fantastic car, to be honest. No real issues with it whatsoever, outside of on occasion it felt like the car was getting away from me, but on the whole, yeah, dealt with all the extra power and speed and acceleration really nicely, was nimble and agile around the corners, didn't suffer from the all-wheel drive system at all, and yeah, got up to some good rates of speed along the way on top of all of that. So yeah, fantastic car overall, to be honest, and yeah, one that I really like in its stock form, especially considering how unique it is in comparison to other Volkswagens that we've had on the Forza series, and it's proven itself here as well. So yeah, fantastic car. Get out there and get it if you haven't already. But nonetheless, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.